It's unlimited
That checks
PTO.
out. That checks
It's
out.
part of the bit. I love that scam. What kind of benefits do you have? Oh, whatever you can imagine. That's what you get all the benefits.
This episode is made possible by our deity, the Dark Lord himself, Jim Spasha, and our partners, Dirty B and Pickett. From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. And now broadcasting from the churn, that's Jim, that's Whitney, I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody!
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Wow.
When you are listening to this, it is but probably 24 hours away if you're listening on a Thursday.
So what'd you get your wife?
Nothing yet. I'm in deep shit. But we are recording this on a Monday, but I did get all of you
So much time.
some Valentines.
Aw, does it have like
Whitney,
a
that's for you. There's
little-
Nick's and Jacob's.
What
Wait,
is
so
there?
we
Pass
get to
those
tell
around.
your wife that you bought us Valentines before you bought her a Valentine?
Yeah.
I'm texting her right
Yeah,
now.
just let her know.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I got you guys all just a little
Is
card.
it a dick pic?
Show my affection.
Of course it is. Why even ask?
Mine says, I loved you, you sexy bearded beast.
Yep.
It says, be mine on the inside and signed Jim.
Oh,
And-
that's a good card.
And there was $20 in mine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just because I care.
Mine says, I want you to glaze my hole, and it's a picture of a donut. Mm-hmm. $50 in mine.
Ooh.
If you know what I mean. Love, your secret admirer. P.S. It's me, Jim, from Pod Therapy. Oh,
Yeah.
that's very, very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it merits a sexual harassment claim. I think it's fine.
There's
Yeah.
time till next year.
Yeah, I still have time on this.
Like I would file a claim against my business partner
Yep.
and sue our business.
Remember that.
We co-own.
I hope you did. That would be great. You take me to small claims court. So what do you want from him again? An apology would be nice.
A different Valentine's Day card.
Just please edit it.
Mine says, to me, you're trash with a little raccoon on the front. And then it says, stay trashy, Jim.
Yep.
And the $100 fell out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Yeah, I made
Yeah.
sure to
I
increasingly.
I
larger
did
amounts of
get Jim a Valentine's Day
money. Oh,
card.
did you?
But I forgot to get one for
Convenient.
Whitney and Nick. So sorry about that. So, Nick, if you could just pass this over to Jim.
Yeah, yeah. That's coming around the
Yeah,
table
yeah.
there.
We'll
There you
share
go.
that.
So
And,
thoughtful.
yeah, I'm
There
just
you go.
that's from all of us, right? And
Yeah.
it says
Did you add
Jim
my name?
It's to Jim A.
Like
to
Jim
Jim
A.
A. And it just says in black letters on a white back, I love you, ... and your dick.
It is a dick pic.
And it is a pop-up card, and I'm going to let you guess what's in here, but it is circumcised.
A pop-up
So,
penis.
Didn't know you were...
I've had that card sitting on my desk
Took
for
you for a
months.
foreskin man.
Oh my gosh, he's been
A good
thinking
use
about
of
you.
the card.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very good
No,
use of the card.
he got it thinking of you.
I imagine
So,
that he did.
yeah.
Yeah, that is the
I just love
only
that it says
way.
I love you. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I love you and your dick.
Someone sent that to me on ICS.
oh my
and it's
gosh.
literally been sitting on my desk. I'm like, I'll find a use for this.
Perfect.
So if you haven't made your Valentine's Day plans yet, listeners,
There's some
this
ideas.
is your warning. You're down to about 24 hours, but figure that shit out. Valentine's Day on a Friday, I feel like there's a lot more pressure. When it's like on a Wednesday or some shit, then you got to really do something.
I have won Valentine's Day this year, everyone.
Oh, let's hear it.
boy.
What's the deal?
My wife
My wave.
will be out
all
of
I
town.
Oh!
So
Victory.
you're celebrating.
Done and
Not.
done.
Okay.
One quick text. You can schedule that text now.
That's right. Who says I have it already?
Happy Valentine's Day.
That's-
There's a
I'm gonna
picture of a
s-
homeless man's dick.
I'm going to steal that idea. I'm going to text Laura right
You're going
now.
to send Laura out of
Yeah.
town?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you get out of the house by
Could you leave? I have Valentine's Day plans. Could you leave?
I love
Hope she
myself.
understands that's in love.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out. Well, I'm
I'm sure her
going to
response
try
will
to
also be in love.
try to hit a nice dinner place. Anybody have a recommendation? Dinner in
Let's
Vegas.
Oh.
see. Off strip, I'm betting. You want to off
You know,
strip?
so this last weekend was my son's birthday. We went to Morton's, the
Oh, yeah.
steakhouse on
Okay.
Flamingo, kind
Sure.
of by Buca de Beppo. That was nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Got the tomahawk ribeye. Holy
Okay.
shit. That was really, really good. So I'm always open to suggestions. but-
A place that you can go and knowing that you don't currently have reservations.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
can make them
so
still,
chilly.
I bet.
Fuck, I better
Yeah.
figure that out.
You gotta call now.
All right,
Yeah.
I better get started.
Yeah, because
on
I was about to
this.
suggest something, but I'm not sure if they'll have
I know.
reservations.
Do you like
gonna
Italian?
check right
Is
now.
I
Italian an
do.
option?
Yeah, Italian's a good. If you can find good Italian, so like
Okay.
like up to like
Buca di Beppo.
Olive Garden standards. That's what I'm.
Oh,
I'm kinda
Okay,
Olive
into.
Garden.
you might
Oh,
like
yeah.
this place then.
Okay. Not Macaroni Grill though. We don't got Macaroni Grill money, so Olive Garden. A little
I'm
bit.
still gonna throw it out
Or
there,
maybe
even though
some
you just
Chef
said that.
Boyardee. Well,
No, I really like in Summerlin Al Solito Posto.
Ooh.
Al Solito Posto.
And they have really good drinks, like mixed drinks that are
Okay.
really tasty. And
Have you ever
neat.
had what is that? The limoncello? Lemon drop? Is that what it's called? Have you ever had one of those? It's like a martini, but there's lemon. in it.
Jim,
It's really good. You should
talking
try it.
to a millennial woman
I
here.
think-
You think I have not had
She
a
definitely
lemon
how
drop?
white I am.
Hello, yes,
had
a
that on the
white
way
one. Yeah,
here.
exactly.
You ever had days in college where that's all she drank?
That's right.
Yeah.
What do you think's in the
Thank you.
Stanley
You
Cup?
ever had they're called Jello shots?
Yeah, that's what I feel like he's
Jello?
asking me right now.
I believe it's Italian.
They're both
have this
food
beer
and
called-
drink.
Yeah.
called Natty Light. Like, have you heard of it?
I got some in the fridge.
Yeah, they got some
Exactly.
good natty lights at this Italian place.
I have
Yeah.
just discovered that they do have a few reservations left for Valentine's Day. Cleaver.
Oh, Cleaver's
It's over on
good. You
Paradise.
would like Cleaver.
It is
Okay.
the same people that own Herbs and Rye.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Up on Sahara.
Okay.
Very similar menu, not exactly.
Steakhouse,
Yeah,
yeah.
steakhouse. They also have some really nice cuts of fish there as well. Great salads.
But not
great
super
ambiance.
fancy. It's
not
like
super
very-
fancy, but yeah, like
But nice, yeah.
yeah, nice but not crazy expensive.
I'm gonna have to look around.
Yeah,
Good
check out Cleaver.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As good or a little less than Macaroni Grill.
Check out Cleaver.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. How are the breadsticks?
Better than
Freshly
Long John's.
microwaved?
Is all I think. Better
Yeah.
than Long John's.
Yeah, better than Long John Silver's. I don't know about that.
I'll be the judge of that.
They do have excellent bread.
Okay. Do you remember that drive-through place that used to serve spaghetti that was on Blue Diamond for the longest time?
No.
Fuck, I remember.
Drive-through
Well,
spaghetti.
yeah,
No, it's on
no,
Silverado Ranch. It's over by the Krispy Kreme.
Are you talking about like
It was called Fazoli's.
Fazoli's?
Oh,
I was gonna say, yeah.
I was like, I
yeah,
know
they were
exactly
fast
where
food
that is.
Italian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
Okay.
drive through, get a fucking bowl of pasta.
Well,
It was the saltiest Italian food you've ever had.
Because it
in
was
your
made a
life.
week beforehand.
Yeah.
It was preserved.
Oh, my
that
God.
makes sense.
Jollibee still does.
Oh, they do
Oh.
pasta?
Yeah, they've got
Really?
spaghetti.
I've never been to that Jollibee's
Yeah.
I haven't
yet.
been there.
I ate there once,
Steak and Shake.
checked it
You can
out.
do,
Holy shit,
Is it
that's
good?
really
Cincinnati chili. It's Steak and Shake.
Ew.
Oh, really?
You could do like the
Okay.
spaghetti with the chili over it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
That is
right.
in Ohio.
Well, there's your Valentine's Day suggestions
Yeah.
from the Pod Therapy crew.
Now I wanna go Steak and
feel
Shake.
free. I know. Get you a milkshake.
Yeah.
That Oreo milkshake fucking rules. All right, we got some great questions today, and we are leading off the order with planning for a bad day from our therapy producer, Sarah Smith.
Leave a little early. Go buy Steak and Shake. Everything will be fine.
It'll all work itself
Done.
out. Just get drunk on Oreos. I'm in need of some inspiration. I've been tasked to come up with a plan for a bad day, as well as a plan for a really bad day. As my time working in clinical practice continues, my caseloads are growing larger and larger. I'm at 60 plus clients
Holy.
working in a community mental health setting. I'm finding myself feeling like there is no time for self-care, no time to learn, no time to conceptualize, barely any time to breathe. The weekends are starting to not feel long enough. I know I'm a high risk for burnout because I operate with a lot of anxiety. I'm managing okay, but am noticing the overwhelm looming really close most days. Then I go home after sitting with people all day and have to show up for my family and kids and often just feel overstimulated. I'm looking for any advice, suggestions, or really anything I can take away. I'm also really curious about what you all do on a bad day. And what do you do on a really, really bad day? Feel free to define those as you wish. As for me, a bad day is when I'm overly tired, stressed, unfocused, and distracted, maybe a bit more snappy than usual. A really, really bad day usually comes post managing a crisis and finding myself in a dysregulated state that sits with me for days. Side note, I started going back to listen to some of your very first episodes, and crying face. Still love you all and what you bring to this field. Your boring named therapy producer, Sarah Smith, no relation.
I think I know her.
Yeah. Apparently you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60 plus.
That
Jeez,
is crazy.
Son of a bitch. Damn,
That's a lot.
I know some community clinics, they do the 30 and 45-minute billing. I've heard of this more and more lately.
Yeah.
Because it's technically like more profitable.
Sure, you move them along.
Right.
And then you're taking like a 5-minute breather and they're scheduling everybody on like quarter hours now.
Right.
Jeez,
exactly.
that's nuts.
It is nuts. So I don't know if that's what's happening here. I can't imagine.
Yeah, part of it's got to be just profitability. The other piece, too, I think, as a community mental health center is you're short-staffed and you've got a high amount of people that you have to serve.
Huge demand.
And so I think that's definitely part of the other part of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
A bad day in therapy land as a provider can really stack up fast.
Yeah.
I mean, when I try to think of like a very terrible day, because Sarah said define them yourself, for me, I'm 10 minutes behind on the first session. So I'm already starting in a hole. And now I'm going back to back and, you know, I've got a long day. It's maybe 7, 8, 9 sessions straight and I'm losing time. And so and now I'm starting to fall like to the 10, 15 minutes slow. I'm having to get like texts out to the next line to let them know like, hey, I'm running late. Like, please don't, arrive on time. So that's happening. Then you throw in like a really heavy case where it's like, okay,
Like a large person.
Exactly. Yeah. In pounds. I measure emotional.
He makes them
heaviness.
show the
Stone
scale.
He does always refer to his patients as cases. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head
Basket.
cases.
I was like, basket.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
And then you throw those on top where you pepper in some of those in the day.
He used to call them sweet cakes. So
Sweet
it is
cakes.
better.
Yeah, I've been moving away. The board has
Yeah.
been sending me a lot of CEUs to work on this. So then you've got a couple where it's like, oh no, these require more time and I'm already behind. And now I'm feeling the pinch of like responsibility to this patient and what's coming ahead to try to keep the trains on the tracks. And then you throw in one or two in that day that hit you in a personal way. The ones that like they're talking about something that you relate to, or it's just you're enmeshed and you know that there's a lot going on and you're feeling all their feels. And it's just one of those days where like there's a tragedy case. There is no solution for this. We are just grieving. We are just working through it. And then you've got to like you have this like compounding emotional interest through all of your sessions that day. Plus you're running behind. And then you finish up your day and you take that deep breath and you're like, okay, it's all done. And then your brain just starts to like float back to the present and you like become aware of yourself. And then you realize you have to do all your notes.
Yeah.
And that is a bad day.
Yeah.
That is a tough day.
So you do those notes the same day is what I'm hearing. Good for you.
Yeah.
Like, good
As
for you.
is required by Nick's investigations.
Yeah, Nick, you wouldn't
don't
say
be
anything.
snitching.
So this is interesting.
Nick's
So
the
I just recently started watching Shrinking on
Okay.
Apple TV.
Oh.
Holy shit, I love that show.
I've
It is
been
so
telling you
good.
guys since it
I
came
know.
out.
I know.
Like, you
and
guys
I
will love
finally
this.
I finally decided, all right, I'll listen to him.
How many episodes in are you?
4, maybe.
Oh, and you're loving
Wow.
it?
Oh, absolutely
What
love
are you
it.
loving about it? Because I
think
was
there's
like
only
on
like
the fence
8 or
still.
so
I
episodes
like
of the
some
first
parts
season.
and some parts really me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shit that he does that's just like his problems are like, okay, you're creating these problems
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah.
But I love Harrison Ford's character.
agreed.
I think he does that so
gold.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, just really
I do like
good.
a lot of the other characters. In
Yeah.
it. He drives me crazy.
Yeah. But watching it has made me want, I kind of want to get back into doing clinical work.
Oh, yeah?
You know, like,
Is it giving you the
Yeah.
itch?
yeah.
Back in the chair.
Which I got to tell you later off, and I'm probably going to sit for that exam. And
Okay.
But anyway, I'll
Yeah,
tell
that's
you.
fine. I don't mind if you do that.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I really kind of have been thinking about that, but then this is the other half of that equation.
Yeah.
This is the other side of that, you know,
Yeah.
where it's just there's my bad days now are pretty good.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I can't I
Yeah.
don't have middle of the night emergencies.
Right.
You know, I don't have people contacting me at all hours like, oh my God, we've got a problem. We need... No, it doesn't happen.
The worst
right?
bad days were running substance abuse inpatients.
Those suck.
I can't imagine this already.
Worst.
I'm like, ooh.
That is ground zero of bad.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, somebody snuck in dope and overdosed in our fucking clinic.
Yeah.
The fire truck is here.
Yeah,
Like,
I love the calls. Hey, first off, everyone's okay.
Yeah. The Narcan worked.
The police are here, but everything's okay.
Yeah.
At least
The
they started
situation
with
has
that.
been resolved.
That's
All
nice.
the weapons have been confiscated.
Yes.
The nurses are stitching up the security staff right now. We do need you to get in the car and please come down here.
But I mean, like my bad days now, like I look at my job as almost kind of like working for TSA,
Right.
where it's like I've got a whole bunch of people that are trying to get through security. And if one person doesn't have their shit together, then now all of my attention has to go to that one person,
Right.
which means everyone else in line now has to suffer because this one person didn't know what they were
But that's
doing.
their problem, not yours.
Yes.
Yeah, you
But
get paid the same
at the end
no
of the
matter
day,
what. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm done at 5.
Yeah, my shift's over when it's over.
So we'll pick this up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
it's
right. I'm walking out.
That's nice. But like this part, I think one of the things that I really struggled with though too, and I've kind of learned to deal with this, like that recognizing when I'm stressed and letting the people around me know that I'm stressed, and just saying, hey, I'm irritable right now, and I don't want to snap at you. So I just need some time. I'm going to go do my own thing.
Okay.
Whether that be, play my bass guitar for 45 minutes or
Read
what.
the owner's manual on your PlayStation game.
Read up on contract negotiation for Madden.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. Something where I can just kind of check out and have that transition time from work to home life. I need kind of that area before I can start interacting with other people. Because I had that like compassion fatigue quite a bit, when you're just like, okay, I've been, dealing with all of this stuff, and then now I have to deal with, I got to listen to other people talk about their problems, and I want to be there and support them, but like I've only got so much to give.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real thing.
I feel like working remotely too from home takes away that buffer time where in the past maybe driving home for 15 or 20 minutes
right, you had a
gives
palate
you that
cleanser. Yeah.
But now I was going to ask you, Jim, if you ever just sit in your office, you mentioned the notes, maybe after the notes that you did in theory, like do you ever sit there for just like 5 minutes? Like I catch myself, even if it's just scrolling on my phone for a moment or something, it's kind of like a little debrief to like just check in, see if anyone's texted me, especially on back-to-back days like that, like just catch up before I go into, whatever home life is. I know you have more going on than like Nick or I do. Because my like downtime after a tough day, Peter and I think I've mentioned this on here before. We do a check-in almost every day.
That's
where it's
great.
like, hey, do you want to hang out together tonight or do your own thing? Like that's our kind of evening question most evenings. And they answer will either be like, oh, if I've had a tough day, I'm like, I kind of just want to do my own thing. Wednesdays are my longest days, so almost every Wednesday night now it's like understood. You're just going to do your own thing and then go to bed. And he'll go do his own thing. He's like, all right, cool. Or if I'm like, I could do either one. It depends if he's like more one way or another. But the check-in helps.
To be able to do that non-judgmentally is
That's
important.
really enlightening.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Whitney's judgmental while she does it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that not clear?
Want to hang out or do your own thing?
I definitely hold resentment toward him based on what he
People
comes
can't
to.
see she's using crooked fingers. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Whitney, I understood completely what you were saying. I want to be very clear.
Jacob, you weren't supposed to out me. No, I don't know how we ended up there. I think because, we both, he has a weird job that he'll be emotionally all over the place too. And I don't really want to be around him if he's had a bad day. Like,
Right.
let me check in. I used to like take a bath in the evening if I've had a really stressful day, like do the whole bath setup. Some people are not into that. That's fine. And last, I'll for sure try and go on a little walk. We live in a pretty mild climate most of the year, so that's easier to do. And If I want to like watch a show and go on a little walk, I'll just drive down to the gym, even if it's late, because no one's there at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I'm like, yay, go walk and watch a show like on my phone or something. But I need to get a little movement in, because otherwise I'll lay in bed and like it's almost like energy is just buzzing.
That's one of the. There's a meme about therapists that's like us sitting in a chair for 8 hours. Finally, I'm done. Then we get up and go sit on the couch.
Ugh.
And it's like, yeah, that's not good.
I know.
You probably need to get up and move.
My personal training business has picked up quite a bit.
Okay.
So I've got clients probably 3 nights a week.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And so that has been awesome. Because
Yeah.
then it's like, even though it's like another job,
Right.
Yeah.
but to actually go and do that, then like
And you enjoy it.
Yeah, and I completely forget about anything that happened at
awesome.
work, because it's
Right.
like, it's almost like I get to have a separate life that's completely
Kind of
removed
like
from
you're
that.
a lawyer, but also a crime-fighting vigilante.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Who would
Yeah.
know anything about that?
Yeah,
I don't.
no,
I don't know anything
no.
about that.
Somebody in Vegas
Yeah.
does.
Oh, somebody's.
No,
can
I
only
used
be
to
one.
love going to after work gym sessions. It's really hard for me to leave my house and go do it now. But when I worked at like a company, I would just bring a change of clothes. And if I could stop before I made it home, I really enjoyed that.
A lot of negative reviews in our iTunes actually refer to this show as gym sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually own the gymmembership.com. Spelled like it sounds. Yeah. I just haven't found a way to use it.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen one day.
What is it going to be? It's not going to be no dick pics.
Yeah.
we know that for sure.
A tasteful amount. You're going to look this way. You're
reasonable
going to get
amount.
what you pay for.
Yeah, yeah.
There will be multiple plans. None of them
Cheers.
are dick pic free. They all come with what you want. But no, I mean, like during COVID, I remember that's whenever I had the longest caseloads. And that's whenever, because like I was so anxious. And all I could do with my anxious energy was just try to help, right? And it felt like it was all hands on deck. We're all throwing ourselves into the breach.
Private practice estimate, like what's the largest caseload that you will manage at one time?
In a day or through the week?
No, I mean, like, well, yours are different
Mine
because
are
your
different.
clients kind of come and go. But
Yeah.
I mean, would you say,
Because he's a
if you were to
prostitute.
say,
Yes.
if you were to say right now, like kind of in your active caseload, people that you've met with within the past year,
Mine's
do you have
weird.
Yeah,
Mine wouldn't be like anybody else.
but it's not going to be 60.
So like it. Okay,
Well, maybe it would be, because
let's
you got-
translate some
Yeah,
of this
never
for
mind.
the audience. So like when a clinician says like their caseload, we usually mean this is like the active roster of clients I currently have.
So,
But then-
so Ryder is dealing with about 60 people.
Yes. And
Actively.
usually, if you're in an insurance-based practice, that probably means either 30 a week and you're rotating like 30 and 30, or it means it could be up to 60 a week, which shouldn't be theoretically possible when you
Right.
think that a session is an hour usually, or you earmark an hour of clock time for this encounter. But Whitney's right. There's a system that you can use where you're billing at a lower rate and you're moving people through quicker, and sometimes community mental health will do that because there is such a demand.
And they pay more per minute. Like, and I don't know how to
It's more
just
efficient.
explain that.
Yeah, it's a
but
more
yeah.
efficient
Yeah.
use of your staff.
Well, because it
member.
comes out to a higher rate per hour.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
what
like
I'm trying to
if you're
say. Yes.
charging $100 an hour and then you charge 2 people half an hour at
It'd be like-
$75
yes,
for half an
exactly.
hour.
Right.
Now you're yeah.
Exactly.
And so some places will do that, and then you're probably doing 30 hours ish, 35 hours ish of face to face, and then they're budgeting like 5 hours, for notes. And so like it's insanity. If that sounds like a bad thing, it is a bad thing. What the writer's talking about,
Or they could
is-
just be working 60-hour weeks.
It
too.
also could be that.
Yeah.
And so like that's a really common area where we see a lot of burnout is in community mental health. And unfortunately, this is usually the first stop in a lot of people's careers when they're in their internship or they're in the first years of work. A lot of them will get, brought into these clinics, and they'll just get completely overutilized and burned out. And it's not like all these clinics are run by the devil and like they don't care about the clinician. It's
Not none of them.
Not
But
of them,
not all
but
of
not
them.
most. It's the economic model that has been the problem of
even
our
the devil
reality,
only has
and the
so much
problem of the
time.
mental health industry is that these insurances get away with violating federal laws that require compensation on par with physical health. And so because they're allowed to do that, they can underfund the clinic, underfund the hourly rate of the therapist. So the only way that mental health can be provided and everybody can earn an income enough that they can get benefits and drive a car and pay their student loans, which they still can't manage to do, is if you just do this and you just run the gauntlet. But like to Nick's question earlier, when he asked me what's my caseload, in private practice where I'm cash pay and I don't have an insurance, basically my patients can join and stick around for as long as they want. So I have like a very high active number, but that's not how many people I see in a week.
Yeah, because they're not coming every week.
No.
All the time,
but like if you said in a quarter,
some of their issues.
Like you'd have to think, some of them come, but I charge extra. But like if you'd have to measure mine like quarterly.
He just can't.
No.
I'm gonna jump in on that.
I'm going to write this down for next year's evaluation.
Stop making ejaculation jokes on serious topics.
Be serious about
So
the
mine's very high.
ejaculation.
Mine's probably like 100, but like I see probably 30 a week, or something to that effect.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I mean, like burnout is very high. And I think what's tough for therapists, it's a stagnant job. Like we're not, getting up, moving, and sometimes that's rewarding, but sometimes it's physically exhausting. But you are still just sitting there burning through your day's allotment of energy. And like it's a lot of mental energy. You're physically and emotionally tired.
Yeah. Sitting all day wrecks my back. It is I don't know. It's
My
just a
legs
lot.
fall asleep.
Yes, your legs. It's like my feet are cold. I got to pee. It's just a lot's going on.
You got to get some gamer chairs.
And a catheter.
Yeah.
That's the trick. Let me tell you
That's
how you
the
go
second
pro.
option.
You get the catheter going, you're set.
Yeah.
And spring for the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
want
have to
those high
empty it
sides.
out.
I know. My next investment really, I think, might be a chair. Someone recommend me a good chair.
Yeah.
'Cause
So how do we deal with burnout? Whitney, I like your suggestions. I mean, for me, Sarah, like a couple of moves that I'll do. At the end of your sessions, I think having like some kind of ritual that's sort of like your emotional and mental detox process. For me, like I go through this ritual where I kind of shut everything down. I don't immediately spring into my notes. I don't check emails. When you finish that last physical session, that one-on-one, I have to get up. I have to move around. If it's daylight outside, I'll take walks. If not, I'm going to just like go pet my dog and like throw water on my face and just kind of like get my bearings and kind of get back to the real world. And, like as therapists, we're carrying a lot of people's, emotions through the day. And that's the job. We don't hate it. It's good. Like we signed up for this, but it's part of healthcare. We're dealing with challenges. We're dealing with people's real lives. And not every single person's going through their worst day. But some people in today's caseload were. And so like you're, carrying that. And I think that you're just trying to get up and do the next thing that kind of detoxes your brain. But Sarah, I'll tell you the truth. Like at this level, what you're working through, there is a reason why a lot of therapists are not able to stay in community mental health indefinitely. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really tough because there's a pride, I think, for people that are in the trenches. They feel like I'm doing, very important work and I'm serving, an important population. And I feel like I'm good at it and I'm trying really hard. And I remember feeling like this at West Care. Like, and I remember having an insane, and that's basically community mental health. It's for substance abuse and mental health. And my caseload was huge. It was like 40 a week. And I had to commute 20 hours a week to get up to the mountain on top of that caseload, plus the paperwork. I mean, like it was default, probably a 70-hour, 80-hour a week job. And it was very low compensation. You're never seeing your family. And there is this sense of pride because you're like, wow, I'm doing really important work with folks that get overlooked in society. I'm bringing justice. But there's also this sense of like, if I do this indefinitely, I don't know that I can continue with the career.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of people, and it happened to me, Sarah, where I had to, look at it and say, I'm proud of the work I'm doing, but I want to be able to do this for 20 years. I want to be able to do this for 30 years. And I want to be able to enjoy what I went to school for and then earn an income that makes sense for my family and honors, the sacrifices I made to go to school and carry these student loans so that my family gets a return on the investment, of all my time. And so ultimately, Sarah, I had to look around and change clinics. And I ended up, leaving that community mental health clinic and going into more private sector substance abuse treatment and rehabs. And that restored work-life balance for me and gave me, I think a better lifestyle that allowed me to do, I think, still continued high-quality work, I was working with at-risk populations with Nick, at a hybrid level where I was doing halfway house plus, kind of rehab work. And you find your niche. But yeah, Sarah, very few people can make a whole career out of community mental health. It's hard to do.
I would be remiss if I didn't step on my soapbox here for just one quick second.
Do it.
Exercise.
There it is.
I think it's incredibly important.
Drink, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the morning. Like, if you're able to exercise in the morning before work, all of the research that I'm reading all points to the benefits of that as opposed to after work.
Mm-hmm.
After work is still beneficial. It's still better than nothing. Before work seems to have greater impact if you're able to do it. But then, as both Jim and Whitney said, like being able to just get up and move around.
Yes.
Because you're right. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say that sitting in a chair is exhausting, but it kind of is. But it's exhausting because your brain needs movement. Like movement and brain functioning go together. And if you don't have that, then it's kind of starting to drive the brain a little mad in a sense. You need that stimulation. You need to be able to get up and move around.
Yeah.
You need to have some way of getting that energy out.
Yeah. Another thing that came to me just now that I think I have always used throughout my career, I have to have things to look forward to. Especially in mental health, like you're dealing with a lot. Like you're dealing with a lot of people's worst days. A lot of people are going through some really hard things. There's a lot of triumphs in here too. And like, again, we're not against the hard work of it. We're built for this. Like this is something that scares a lot of the rest of healthcare away. They just want to hear your symptoms and give you pills. We get into the trenches and we do the soul work, and like we're designed for it. We
You
can
still give
handle
them
it.
pills, though.
Yeah, we still as often as they'll take them.
Yeah.
But specifically,
Jim specifically
and only
gives them a
Cialis.
lot of pills.
Yeah, only Cialis.
He likes to
It
plant
treats
them
everything.
places.
Yeah. In their pockets,
And
under
their
the
nature's
tongue.
pockets.
It's fun. But no, one thing that gets me through is just every week I have to have something to look forward to. So like in Vegas, things that I'll do throughout the year, I'll early book tickets to Aviators games. And like I know I'm going to an Aviators game as soon as I'm out of work on Friday. And like at any given point throughout my week, if it's a really tough day and it's just
That's
like,
our minor league baseball team.
That's our minor league. Thank you. Yeah. I'll know. I'm looking forward to that. And like I'll close my eyes and I'll smell the grass and I'll think, oh, I can't wait to go get a hot dog. And I'm really looking forward to that. Or like I'll book a movie or something like that, or just make plans.
Do you always equate food with sporting events, Jim?
It has to. Yeah, got to
Okay.
have something to eat there.
It's very
Otherwise
interesting.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
very
Dr.
interesting.
Jacob is really working it.
Analyze.
I saw it in his eyes.
I go to a lot of cheap sports
Are they all
games.
phallus-shaped foods?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, specifically. Yeah. Always eat them with two hands. And
Rotating them.
Yeah.
Always cup the balls. Anyway, Ryder.
I hold the back
get
of my
through
head
by
while eating a
filleting
hot dog.
dogs. That is how I get through my hard days.
I mean, I've said many, many times on this. One of my refrains on the show has always been work-life separation.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's hard, and you pour so much of yourself in, especially when you're doing work like this. You pour so much of yourself into your work, and your work is so much about you. It's so hard. I see the same thing with entertainers.
Yeah.
It's like entertainers, like their work
Oh,
is
yeah.
them. Like it's not completely dissimilar from therapists.
Yeah.
I mean, the work is so much of you.
It requires a lot.
You have to be able to separate yourself. My experience is you have to be able to separate yourself from your work. And I mean, if that's like a little meditation before and after work to kind of separate that out. Jim mentioned having rituals in there. And I would also suggest really work on separating that work life out on good days at work.
Yeah.
Because if you can do it on good days, like if you don't take the good days home with you, you're less likely to take the bad days home with you.
There's a lot there about leaving it at the office
Yeah.
if that's possible.
Like my goal is by the time I get home, work is not on my mind anymore at all.
Right.
Like it is excised from my brain until I get back. Then whenever I'm going back.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going home and telling my wife all about my work day. I'm not doing all that. I'll tell her things if something happened that I know will interest her.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the only reason I'm telling her. And if I think she will be interested in it and I think about it,
What are you
Yeah.
going to
Then
tell
I
her
will
about
tell her.
today's podcast?
oh, I never tell her shit about
She doesn't
these.
even know about the
I don't think she knows about pod therapy.
We're
No.
just associates of his.
Yeah.
Like she has
Yeah.
no idea. When she sees us at the bar, she's
As
like,
far
"Oh, these
as-
guys again." That's
As
nice.
far as she knows, I'm at a brothel right now.
That's what she hopes.
Much better.
You're not doing that therapy podcast, are you? No, hookers and blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have standards. Two last thoughts, Sarah, that have gotten me through as I'm thinking back over the career. There was a phase I was going through, and it was, I think it was during the rehab days. Those, honestly, that was the dark. Yeah.
Like the hookers and blow.
I had like my breaking case of fire.
That wasn't a phase. He's still in.
Still in that phase.
I mean, if it stops, then you can call it a phase.
Yeah, it's just a legacy now. But I had my breaking case of fire kind of like treat. So I'd get like the tastiest ice cream or like the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies and put them in the freezer, or just some kind of treat. Sometimes it was like a special whiskey or something like that, but it was like not an everyday thing. Like, and I'd keep it sacred. I'd be like, no, this is not something you're ever allowed to have. Unless it's really, really necessary.
The prostitute that's more than $100.
Yeah. Top shelf. Oh boy.
Yikes.
The macaroni grill of hookers. Ooh. So sometimes
I actually
having
like
that.
the prostitute idea better than the food idea.
Yeah.
I know.
In the sense that because one of the biggest things that I work with all my clients is disconnecting food as a reward.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
A good point.
Sex is a reward.
Sometimes
consensual,
it's just that
paid
last,
for sex.
Yes.
that
Great.
last
That's
thing you need.
everyone wins.
If you hear in my voice and you're wondering, is he joking or not? Probably not entirely.
He's not. The other thing I'll use is video games, because then it's like I'll go into my little world in Stardew Valley or in Rocket League. For years it was Rocket League, and just it is a phase shift because now this has no purpose. I prefer
forces
games I
your
don't
mind
have
to
to
clear.
think.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have to think. I am just a little fisherman in a village and I'm catching fish.
That's what music
That is
does
it.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like playing guitar, playing bass, doing something like that, where it's like
Listening to Creed.
Yeah. Oh my God.
With thumbs wide open.
Fully bottomless.
Winnie the Pooh.
So let's go now. Let's make our escape.
Come on. Oh, let's just keep going, man.
A few weeks ago, I sent the group. We have a group chat, and I sent the group. I walked past a place where Creed was performing.
Caesars. This is
And
a
I
big
just
venue for them.
Right. I mean, it's a big venue. It's very nice. But I just walked past it and just took a selfie of myself in front.
Yeah.
And sent it to you guys.
Nick was
and
like,
Nick
"No!"
freaked the fuck out.
I know. I was like, you said you were going. Jacob's like, I didn't.
I'm not
Like,
going. I
oh,
walked past it.
Nobody was there. They
I mean,
canceled all
Adele
the
played
shows.
there. What the hell? How
Yeah.
did they get in?
Anyway, Sarah, we are rooting for you more than you know. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And, it's a sad reality. And,
Ugh,
I
hate
just
that.
would argue, again, I admire everybody working at every level of care.
Create
and
an
I don't want
exit
to talk
plan.
anybody out of it. But, like, at the same time, I'm an advocate for our profession. And, like, when I talk to my students, I tell them, like, look, you're probably going to serve some time in this role. I wish we were in a system built to make that sustainable. And unfortunately, we have insurances that are allowed to just absolutely violate federal law with no consequences. And until the government decides to enforce the laws on the books, we have a system that burns you out. And so I wish it wasn't that way. You don't have to throw away your sanity, your life, or your passion for a broken system. So sometimes you just do a tour of duty and then you kind of rotate out. But if you're going to stay and you're going to find your way through it, please, I hope that you could take some of the advice we've given you today. I think that at the end of the day, if you can afford hookers, that's the answer. It doesn't have to be top shelf every time. Just
The source of and solution to so many of life's problems.
That's true. Well said.
Yeah.
Well
Okay,
said.
let's just end on that.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're discussing feeling concerned about a partner's snacking. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Ben, Don, Malia, Richard Macy, Sunny Boy, Thunder Cougar, Falcon Scoops, Slurpee Kaye, Motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Elena, Sam Cohn, and Jake Schneider. And if you would like to hear this episode, sorry, hold on. Sorry, I got Creed in my head. For some reason. Would you like to sponsor the show? Become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy.
The
All right.
kazoo.
It pretty much sounds like that. That is
Yeah.
very close.
Oh, don't you dare. More interesting facts trivia.
Oh.
Whitney,
Okay.
what is the most abundant element in the universe?
That ass.
Your mom's ass!
Options.
Helium, hydrogen, oxygen, or carbon?
Hydrogen.
Solid guess.
It is.
Oh, yay.
I didn't
Ding, ding,
realize.
ding.
I thought it was
The lightest element on the periodic table.
Yeah.
Most
All
of the
those are-
universe was
I think all
only
4 of those are
hydrogen.
super common, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like helium, I know is super common in the,
It's torn
in the
between
universe.
carbon.
There is more hydrogen in the universe than the other 3 combined.
There you go.
It is all hydrogen.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. How many taste buds does the average adult human have?
All right, we got sweet, we got sour,
Oh, my.
we got umami, whatever the fuck that is.
Are you
You
going
want
to count? Are you going to
options?
count them? You're up to
Bitter.
3 so far.
I got 4.
We're going to be here a while.
Bitter,
Turn on that.
savory, or savory umami. Fuck. All right, give me options. I'm not going to.
Sure?
I don't want to shoot from the hip. It's probably going to
Okay.
be like 6, but I'm not.
It's going to be
safe.
like
Probably going to be 6.
1,000.
I don't know if umami and savory are
I
the
think
same
you
one.
were off
Okay.
by at
I don't-
least
I don't
3
think-
orders of magnitude.
I don't think you understand the question.
No, you definitely don't.
Oh, okay,
It's
give me
not like
options.
it's not like you're
didn't
picturing
say
the
how
part
many
of your
types
tongue
of
where it's like
taste buds.
bitter,
Yeah.
sweet.
He said how
How
many
many
taste
taste
buds?
buds?
Yeah, like 5 or 6, but
So,
I
like-
want the
Okay,
options.
okay.
So, Jim,
all
if
right.
I said how many skin cells do you have, you wouldn't say 1.
No.
Okay, well, I've got one on this finger.
Yeah.
Right, one on this finger.
Oh, are they like the size of a skin cell?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
tiny.
you ever
Oh,
felt
fuck.
those bumps in
All
your
those
tongue?
That's
bumps.
a taste bud?
Yeah.
I thought I had tongue herpes. Now I
Well,
know.
Oh,
those-
some of them.
You can't comment on the plus ones at the back. You'll get tested.
Go on.
Okay, 5,000, 10,000,
Oh, Jesus.
15,000,
Oh,
or 20,000.
Those are all less than I would have guessed by a lot.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I was
boy.
gonna guess like 30.
I better go grande. Give me 20,000.
It is 10,000.
I would have guessed millions.
Fun fact, taste buds
Millions.
regenerate approximately every 2 weeks.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Okay.
I did
So
know
when you
that.
burn your tongue,
Yeah,
that might
that's
be
why it comes
Oh.
back.
Oh, good.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
that
That's
makes
good to
sense.
know.
All right, Nick. What food accidentally inspired the invention of the microwave? Popcorn, chocolate, bread, or cheese?
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh. I like all
Bread doesn't
those.
seem
Bread seems not right.
unlikely.
Oh, I would guess cheese. Somebody wanted to
That's
figure out
what
a way
I was gonna
to melt
guess.
cheese.
Yeah.
I was going to guess cheese as well.
Feels like the popcorn is pretty self-evident, though, right?
I feel like popcorn's a red herring,
Yeah.
which is
probably
also good in a microwave.
Oh, there's
Smells
nothing,
terrible.
nothing
You could-
better than
you
sharing
could
an
melt-
office with someone who's got microwave
Red
fish.
herring. Yes.
One of the acrobats brought a fish dish into our office one time, put it in the microwave. We were like, "You're not allowed to microwave anything in our
No,
office anymore.
you're
Get the
banned."
fuck out."
Were they like
gotta be chocolate
Swedish
or
or something?
cheese.
They were Ukrainian.
Yeah.
I feel like chocolate.
I was going to say cheese, and it is chocolate.
Oh,
Fun fact, Piercy Spencer discovered microwave cooking when a chocolate bar melted in his pocket near a magnetron.
oh, I see.
Oh.
So
Did
it's
you
like
know
His
that-
pocket
accidental
was
discovery.
close
Yeah.
to something else.
A magnetron.
Did you know when you put something in the microwave, you shouldn't put it in the middle?
I
What?
was just thinking about this the
Yes.
other day.
Why
I started
not?
moving my food to the side, and I was like, I think if
Yes.
it's in the
Why?
middle, it like
That's
zaps
what you're
it
supposed to.
hardcore.
If you,
I didn't know that
if
though.
you read the instruction manuals of your microwave,
Oh.
that's what it says.
You're the
Okay.
biggest
You don't
loser
put
I've
it
ever
in
met
the
in my life. You
manual?
read the instruction manual to a fucking microwave.
I was taking a break from contract law.
This is a cry for help, my man. I'm sincerely worried about you as your friend.
Any new
I'm
item
not even making fun of you, man. I'm really worried about you.
Any new item I get, I'm just gonna bring the manual in and be like, Nick, give me the cliff notes.
Dude, what the
Holy
fuck?
shit, the Sharp? I've read this one. Yeah.
Oh, is this the Sharp 2500? Oh my god, it's got a great beverage setting.
No, because if you think about it, so it's you've got peaks and valleys. Well, they meet in the center, so the center is always the coldest part.
Oh.
So that's why you put it on the sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why the edges are hot in my food.
Don't tell me where to put shit in the microwave.
Yeah.
I'll put it where
Or
I want.
what to put
Stick it
in
in
the
the center
microwave.
if I want to.
Jacob, what's
Yes.
the only bird that can fly backwards? Oh, I know this one.
Dude, penguin.
Bird is
Michael
a
Jackson bird.
Oh shit.
Good guess.
The moonwalk does count. I will give you a point, but would you
you.
like to take another
Lady
guess?
Bird.
Let's see. Definitely not
Larry
penguins.
Bird.
It's Larry Bird. Give me options.
Okay, you're gonna hummingbird, sparrow,
Oh.
kingfish, swallow.
Dude, take the
Swallow.
Do it.
I believe that's going to be
Valentine's
hummingbird.
Day.
It is the hummingbird.
Yeah. Yeah, once you said it, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have a fuck ton of hummingbirds in our backyard
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to put my hummingbird
Oh,
feeder out.
they just
Okay.
flock to us. I guess
Yeah.
literally.
They just fly backward everywhere.
Yeah.
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 So I do
I-
sit outside and they like fly around me and they like hover right around you, and they definitely like fly
I want to
back
believe
and
they're
forth.
eating out of your hands. Are you like just spraying sugar?
I just
I just have like
Imagine
sugar water in the palm of my hand.
just holding
I just
it out.
picture Jacob in his backyard as like kind of like a Disney cartoon.
Like Snow
Yeah,
White.
he's just singing. Yeah, birds are falling on him. Yeah, sewing him dresses and shit.
Yes. Yes.
Got all these dresses.
They're just carrying them.
It's like a tailor
They're
shop.
beautiful. I just have
It's
nowhere to
really
wear them.
nice. These fucking mice just keep showing up and doing my chores. It's pretty great. All right, round 1 in the books. I'm clearly winning.
They are bad at vacuuming.
Concerned about partners snacking from Anonymous. Hi, Pod Therapy. Me and my partner, me early 20s, him late 20s, have been together for a little over 2 years, and we live together and are currently working together as well. I really love my partner and believe he is making my life better. But lately, I've gotten hung up on the small negative aspects of our relationship. One problem that has been on my mind is his eating habits. He eats sweets and snacks every day, and it's making me very annoyed. I'm worried about his health and especially how this habit will affect him in the future. At the moment, he is at a healthy weight, but doesn't really exercise. I feel like this is starting to become more my problem than his. Some days, this is the first thing I think about when I wake up, and it's the last thing that crosses my mind before I go to bed. Once I start to think about it, which I do every time he eats something unhealthy, I can go on worrying about it for hours, making me irritated and angry. I have a hard time right-sizing this issue and letting go of a problem that I really can't control. His snacks habit is not the best, but my obsession over it feels worse at this point. What should I do about this? Do I suggest to my partner that I want him to eat healthier? Or is this completely not my problem? I've not brought this up at all with him since I'm ashamed of
Completely my problem.
Yeah.
or is this completely my problem? Thank you. I have not brought this up at all with him since I'm ashamed of how much this bothers me, and I believe that he will get irritated with me if I do, since he doesn't think his habits are unhealthy. I'm aware that I'm worrying about this unreasonably. Out of the two of us, I am much more worried about things in general, and sometimes I feel that I need to worry about his problems as well, since he won't. I know this is not a healthy approach in a relationship, but I can't really help myself. I've seen a therapist before, though something similar to BetterHelp, because I've been anxious and about other things. It helped some, but I, obviously, still have some issues. But now I don't feel motivated to do it again. Due to me being an anxious person and English not being my first language, I've been writing on this letter for about 2 weeks. I hope you'll understand what I'm trying to ask. Conclusion. How do I deal with the fact that A, my partner doesn't live as healthy as I would like, and B, I can't stop worrying about it, and the worrying in itself is becoming a problem. Want me to read the PS?
Sure, I don't know.
PS. Describing my partner's snack habits.
Oh, yeah, this would be good.
He eats some kind of snacks every day. It could be 2 donuts and a half bag of chips or something similar. Sometimes it's only a small bag of candy, but he always eats some snacks in the evening. He usually goes to bed later than me, so it's not unusual that the last thing I hear before falling asleep is him munching on some candy loudly.
He's eating in bed.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Which makes it really hard
We'll come
for
back
me
to
not
that.
to think about it. He also has a habit of not eating lunch on the weekends
Wait,
because
if I just
he's not
discovered
hungry.
something we have in common.
And instead of eating only a bag of chips and some candy, he'll just not eat lunch. This makes me really stressed and worried, especially about how this might affect our lives in the future. I do realize that this is a small problem compared to others. I have listened to almost all of your episodes and remember the questions about people's partner doing drugs and being former sex offenders, but I still could use some help right-sizing this issue.
Some of them were current.
And also some advice on how if I should talk to my partner. Thank you, Anonymous.
Well, yes, we understood all of that. And for English not being your first language, you did a great
I
job.
never would have guessed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Nope, you speak
Eloquently.
Good
you speak
English.
gooder English than me.
One of the biggest fights that our family perpetually gets
Go on.
into is me trying
Wrestling.
to enjoy bubblegum.
Oh,
If I'm chewing
no.
bubblegum
Are you
anywhere
an
near
obnoxious chewer?
No, God damn it.
Oh.
I'm a normal person.
Which is
But my
something that
wife
an obnoxious
has fucking
chewer would say.
sensitive ears. She cannot fucking handle it. Like if I pop in a stick of gum, she will pull off her wedding ring. Like it's over. The attorneys are on the line. Dude, it's 20 fucking years of this madness. I can't enjoy bubble gum. It is.
You just
so
put it in your
fucking
mouth
annoying.
and suck on it.
Yeah, that's what she wants. That's what she wants. Because if you try to chew it, she's like, "Do you really have to chew so loudly?" I'm like, "This is just what chewing is. This is chewing. This is all chewing is."
Do you
I'm about to go
smack
get some
your
gum.
I
lips or
don't
anything?
think I do.
I'm about to go get
Give me
some
some fucking bubble gum.
We need to
let's
test
let's
this.
do this.
I've got something in the car.
All right,
Okay,
Jacob's
good.
gonna go.
I was like,
Yeah,
I
he's
left
gonna
mine
go.
at
We're gonna
home.
run a simulation here. Jacob
Yeah.
will be back in a moment.
Oh
Dude,
my
seriously, it is the
gosh.
biggest fucking fight of our lives. Like it
Chewing.
never ends. Because like if you're on a long
Yeah.
drive, I'd like to enjoy some bubble gum.
I don't remember the last time I chewed gum.
Okay.
I it's something that I never really.
Were you
got
never into gum as a kid? I mean, I enjoy
I did when I was younger. Like I remember high school basketball games. Whenever we'd go to those, because at the concession stand they sold bubble gum.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
bubble
Grape?
gum was the good one.
Oh, the grape that was so good.
Did you ever do the bubble gum by the foot?
Yeah, fruit by the foot.
Is that not
no,
fruit
it wasn't
by the
fruit by the
foot?
foot, but it
It was
the,
another one.
Tape, bubble tape.
Bubble tape.
Bubble
Yeah,
tape,
that was it.
yeah.
Oh, these are the good ones,
Oh my
Jacob. Can I get
gosh,
two of
that's
them?
what my
I like.
mom
Yeah,
did.
there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now chew.
These are the ones I really like.
Okay,
They're like, what are these? Ice cube?
These are the icebreakers.
Icebreaker.
take a second.
Peppermint.
Take a second.
No, don't you fucking
Just-
boss me around.
No, just.
All right, I will
say-
chew at
Let-
my own leisure.
Oh, I see what she's talking about.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
I get
annoying.
it.
You're
Yeah.
not helping yourself.
Oh my god, these are so good. Have you ever had these?
Yes.
The icebreaker peppermint? They're so good. All right.
All right, we're going to come back to Jim's chewing in a minute.
ASMR over here.
So here's the thing. I absolutely, Ryder, I thought you're very insightful. One of the things, yeah, I do hear it.
Oh, yeah. I hear it too.
I hear it. Yeah.
Your wife is right.
No, she's fucking not.
She's right.
Guys, this is what chewing bubblegum fucking sounds like.
You can't even talk.
Oh, yeah, because I have fucking bubblegum in my mouth.
Yeah, I
So
chew
what?
gum all the time. I can still talk.
Well, yeah, I like to chew it while
All
I
right.
talk, though, because it tastes good.
Can we just have a couple moments of silence here?
That's all.
I cannot.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm on Team Jim's wife on this
Yep.
one.
Dude,
Hold on, let me take the ears off.
yeah, take off all your fucking ears. Yeah.
Hey.
For the listener, I'm going to keep chewing on the microphone, though.
Yeah, I can hear it across the road.
Yep.
No, it's
Yeah.
not that
With
bad.
no headphones, I can
Thank
tell
you,
it right
Whitney.
across the road.
Thank you, Whitney. That's why you're my Valentine. Fuck both of you.
I'm a trash
Throw your
panda.
cards. Throw your cards in the goddamn trash. You're both fired. I don't give a shit anymore.
I think because
No,
you're.
I bought that for you.
You said
Tell
put the
Jacob
trash.
twice.
I
He
saw
threw
a
it
tear.
right in the fucking
I
trash.
saw a tear.
I thought you put it on your mantle.
Oh my gosh, the snacking. Do y'all have any issues with, like, so Jim already described his wife having an issue with him chewing, but like,
Yeah.
has this ever been a thing in relationships in general?
Jim has moved the
Yes.
microphone away from himself, thankfully.
bubble gum.
He's not giving it up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can all live with this solution.
Yeah.
Current relationship, no. Past relationship, yes.
Ooh, interesting. Do tell.
Did you have the issue or did she have the issue?
She had the issue.
Okay.
But it was for a different reason. It was because she was trying to eat healthy and I was not.
I thought you were going to say she
And
was
so-
upset at you for eating food that you're allergic to.
Oh no. And so I always had like junk food in the house, and so that was kind of more the issue.
Yeah.
No, Laura has an issue with
Jim
me.
has removed the gum from it. We have shamed him into removing the gum from his mouth.
His breath smells really good though now.
Yeah. No,
It's going on my annual review.
Laura worries about me with the energy drinks.
Oh, dude.
Ah,
So
okay.
do
And I don't drink a whole lot of the energy drinks. Like I usually have
many a
one
week?
here
Yeah.
to come to the show because I'm usually
Yeah, but you drink
when
the
I'm
ones
not-
that are like a liter. It's like a fucking orange
That's the- it's
juice
the
carton.
only
That's
size
a
that they
tall
sell.
can.
It's-
What is that, like
it's
16 ounces?
16 fluid ounces.
There you go.
I worry about you too.
And it's the 0 sugar, so it's.
Healthy.
Nick, I don't worry about you
Good
at all.
for you.
I didn't get the feeling that you would.
Good.
piss racing fuel.
It's working. It's
That's
working.
the
feeling
Whatever
it's
you're
all
doing.
next
That's the
to it.
feeling I was trying to portray.
Yeah. Success.
I don't think of you
Good.
at all.
No, but yeah, but anyway, Ryder, I like the insight that you have because you've recognized that from his perspective, it doesn't seem to be a problem. There was a quote by Carl Jung that said, everything that irritates us about other people brings us to a better understanding of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like that because it's one of those things where like I think about that every once in a while when I see something and I just like I see somebody do something and I'm frustrated. Like it
Yeah.
bothers me. And then I have to think like, why does that bother me? Who the hell
Yeah.
cares? Like it's not affecting me at all.
Right.
But it makes me think, like, what does that mean to me? That I see that and it causes a visceral reaction in me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not about that person. It's something about me that's triggering. And you can dig down, into that, and you can actually like really explore this and learn a lot lot about yourself.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Or you can
barrier.
not too. You can just decide that you're not worried about it, and just be like, "Hey, don't do that." Mm-hmm. Also, I think it's fine to tell your partner, partner, don't eat snacks in bed.
Okay.
I think that is a boundary. I feel like you can easily draw.
I think all four
and I
of
feel
us,
like it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Do we have a full pod therapy consensus?
Oh
on
no,
this
I
one?
don't. I'm not on this with you guys.
Oh,
You snack in bed?
You guys are fucking boring. That's the problem.
Oh my
you
God.
vanilla
Jim,
motherfuckers.
What?
Kinky Jim over here. Give me some fucking Chips Ahoy. And let's just go.
Oh my God, that's like the
Let's
crumbliest
just
cookie
get it
ever,
going, baby.
too.
I want to feel it on my thighs.
Even Bert hated Ernie eating cookies in bed.
Cookies in bed.
Oh my gosh, just crunch, crunch, crunch.
Honestly, that doesn't bother me as much as like if you had like toast and jam or something like that, where it's like
that's pretty
sticky.
elaborate.
Because sticky,
I guess breakfast in
anything
bed.
sticky
If you had like a
is,
nice beef Wellington,
I'm okay with the beef Wellington.
Yeah. Can I get
'Cause
some
don't
creme
think
brulee?
it's not
Are you insane?
sticky,
It'll just stick to the
necessarily.
sheets.
my partner insists on eating an entire party sub in bed every day.
That's so good.
Oh my God.
I think this is but okay. So Jim, you snack in bed.
No, I don't.
If your spouse came to you though and said, Jim, I hate that you snack in bed. Please don't snack in bed anymore.
Oh, she will, because she fucking bitches about everything. Okay? So I'll tell you right now, even though I've never taken a bite of anything, the day I fucking do,
I'm just clipping this
gonna
out
hear
to send
about
to
it.
Jim's wife.
I'm gonna hear about it. This gum shit is still pissing me off. I'm so upset.
The one show in 8 years that she actually listens to.
Yeah. This will be the one.
I bitch
Are
about
you still doing that
everything, do I?
podcast? Yeah, no, she would absolutely fucking murder me. And so, no, I understand that theory. It's interesting though, like
I think that's kind of an aside.
yeah,
But
there's.
I think you can.
You're on
make,
the high ground.
I think you can make that rule.
I think because that's a shared space. But
Yeah.
like I see this happen a lot in couples therapy where
Oh
you
my
do
God.
have somebody that is offended or is a little overinvested, enmeshed, where they're like, I don't like that you have a beer after work or something like that.
Yes.
I don't like that you eat, cookies, or whatever. I don't
Have
like
dessert
you eat
every
chips.
night.
And then the other one's like, I'm a grown up. I get to own my own body.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting shit-faced drunk and that affects our ecosystem, that affects our ability to interact, I get you being offended. Me having a beverage I like or drinking coffee in the morning while you drink tea, and then you're going to come at me and be like, I just read that coffee's bad for you. We're giving up coffee as a household. And it's like, no, you get to choose to give up coffee. I choose to make it for myself and only myself. And that gets to be okay. And the person's like, you don't care about our family or you don't care about my opinion. And
That's beside the point.
This comes up a lot in therapy where you're like, okay. And as a therapist, it's really tricky, right? Because I want to, on one hand, give autonomy to each person and say, hey, should we be imposing your thinkings on this other person? But then the person who wants to impose is like sometimes very fired up about it and is like, this is about health.
Yeah.
And these are big decisions that affect our family and affect our longevity. And I don't want this in my home. And why don't they respect my opinion? And it's like, oh boy, you got to talk them down. And it's like, I don't know that there's a correct posture for me to take in those situations.
Yeah. Health is a tricky territory too, because
I don't want you to smoke or I don't want you to use chewing tobacco.
Right.
It's like, well, this doesn't affect you. It's like, I don't want you to get, cancer.
Yeah,
It's like,
everything
okay.
affects. It does. I mean,
It's always going to be that, though, too.
and
Where's the line?
And the snacking affects it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's no effect. I don't think anybody's saying there's no effect.
But that's
Not
why
at
it's
all,
hard
yeah.
because
But it
these
is tricky.
things like even if we talk about smoking, like, okay, I smoke a cigarette. If I smoke a cigarette on Saturday nights, one night a week, is that
Right.
bad? Like,
If I cross the
where's
line.
the limit? Yeah. And
At what
so,
point do you get to tell me how to live my life?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all
Smoke 3
agree.
packs of unfiltered Marlboro Reds.
Right. Yeah, that's the
once
number.
a week.
I love
Right.
them.
I think there is a
Can't stop,
stakeholdership.
won't stop.
You
But
do
I
have a
think-
right.
I think a lot of this though, I'm kind of wondering, a lot of it presents itself as concern for my partner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that that's not there, but that may be just how it's presenting itself. There could be underlying things behind this. So I'll give you an example. If let's use the example of Jim has a whiskey one night, a glass of whiskey Friday nights. That's his thing. Okay,
Love it.
And your
With some
your
bubble
partner
gum.
is
Bubblegum flavored whiskey.
Oh my God,
okay.
Jacob's
I'm going
face.
to completely
Ruined
switch
two
this.
things.
Drink it my way.
Let's just say a random person. I'm not going to talk about Jim. Random person,
It's a
glass of
really
whiskey,
handsome guy.
Friday night.
Enjoying his whiskey on a Friday
Partner
night.
is upset by that, and from their perspective, they're saying, "Well, it's about I'm worried about your health."
Right.
And they're not lying. That
Right.
may just be how they're presenting it.
Yeah.
But it's we do this with a lot of stuff where something triggers an emotional reaction and we don't really think that hard about it as to what is it that's really going on.
Right.
So we just assume, well, it must be that I'm worried about this person's health.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
do
so
think you're
that's
right,
the
Nick,
label
yeah.
that we give it. When in reality, it's actually something deeper. That deeper thing may be that this person used to date an alcoholic.
Dad smelled
And so
like
now,
whiskey.
and
I
so
don't
now
like this.
me seeing this behavior, it triggers a reaction, a response. And so it's in the same way that, if I smell one thing, it takes me back to this experience. It's just a reaction just like that. Your brain just connects.
I want to throw a layer on
neurons that fire together get wired together.
Yes.
And so now you have an emotion
Yes.
that you don't know where it came from. And you are now putting a label on it saying, I'm concerned about my person's health.
Right.
When in reality, it's undealt with emotions from past events.
inside of you. To throw another layer on this, let's take that same scenario, and here's a twist on it that I've heard. So let's say in this scenario, the writer, I think, used feminine pronouns and then described partner as male. So let's just run with that for the sake of the analogy. So let's say that husband sits down and has his whiskey, and wife says, I don't like that you do this, and has an emotional reaction to it, right? And they show up in therapy. And I've had the scenario where the wife will say, this clearly bothers me at an existential level, right? Mm-hmm. And you, therapist and husband, both are telling me it's probably not about his health. It's probably some bigger thing like Nick's talking about. All right, fine. It probably is. But this is causing me a lot of distress. And if you really loved me, why the fuck are you picking the whiskey over me? It's making my Friday night suck, whereas your Friday night would be 5% less without this whiskey. But you're insisting on your freedom to have it, and you're going to have it despite that I get all riled up. You say, I've got to work on myself, and maybe I do. But in the meantime, this hurts me. I'm angry at you. I don't want to talk to you all weekend. It's ruining our marriage. Why don't you just just don't drink the whiskey and we won't have a problem. Mm-hmm. But then the husband says, this is a terrible precedent to set. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that you get to do this emotional hostage taking where because you're the more fragile party and you have an undealt with trauma of some kind, I'm not allowed to do a benign behavior because it irritates you. And so then you go round and round and round, and you have the husband innocently, heroically inserting, I should be able to chew gum like a fucking adult on a drive when I want to. It's my car. It's my gum. I'm not hurting anybody. But because it irritates you, I'm not allowed to have gum anymore. This is America.
We know what Jim does every night on the way home.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, maybe if you chewed it like a human being.
Yeah, you chew it like an animal.
That is your opinion.
I have just a solution to this. I have a way that you can just fix this. Because you're worried that you're going to go to your partner and lay the hammer down and it's going to cause a big fight. You could fix this without having a single crossword with each other.
Okay.
Hide the snack.
Every time, no. Every time your husband or your partner has a snack, you simply have the same snack. You just eat whatever your husband is eating, or whatever your partner. I keep saying your husband because I'm caught up in Jim's analogy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever your partner is eating, you just eat the same thing.
Okay.
And then, few years down the road, if you start to have negative health consequences from this, you can be like, honey, we got to cut out all these snacks. I'm having negative health consequences because of it.
Yes.
And at that point, your partner is going to say, that's great. I love you, and we have to cut all of this out of our house.
go.
It's out today.
Yeah, that's the
and
long
that
game.
day
That is
you'll
a
be
long,
like,
long game.
I won.
That's 4-quarter thinking right
Yeah,
there.
that is 4-dimensional chess.
Yes.
That's got smell added into it. Smell is the 4th dimension.
A lot of variables all falling in place in the right direction, I think.
Bulletproof. Pretty
I
bulletproof.
thought what you were going to say is anytime your partner goes for one of those snacks, you smoke a cigarette.
Yes, I was like, you fart
I thought he was
going to
say tase him.
Yeah.
I was going to be like just straight
I
up
was like-
behavioral
I
operating
was like,
conditioning.
Jacob's going to Pavlov this motherfucker.
Oh, is that an M&M? Oh, fuck!
Or just
I've heard
like,
those are bad for your health because I'll fuck you up.
because getting tased is bad for your health.
you know, or what if every time they ate the snack, you just had like some kind of stinky spray, just sprayed it?
There you go. Yeah, there's ways to manipulate your
I
partner.
think sacrifice your own body
Yeah.
and then use that as emotional
You're
and
killing me.
intellectual manipulation.
Wow, I'm scared to be on
I'm
Jacob's
smoking
bad
this
side ever.
methamphetamine.
Oh,
because
if I'm
you
angry
like
at you, I'm horrible.
fucking Skittles.
I believe it.
And now we're both gonna die.
I could break things
Note
so
to
fast.
self.
It's just a game of chicken.
Yeah.
Just keep ruining our health until you stop doing what you're doing.
I think
If you keep eating snacks, I'm going to die.
That'll teach you.
I think Nick has a really great point with what
Oh,
he
thank
was
you.
sharing. Yeah.
That's the show, everybody.
No, I think that is
Just give
probably
away those reviews.
a really good place to start. That's what I would say. I think another aspect that might be coming to play here, and the writer would just have to sit with this, but is it almost teeters on that, anxiety is just us trying to find control, which, yeah, maybe it's based on something internal and you should definitely explore that. But yeah, I think just that acceptance of we're not in control of everything around us. And I know that's really easy to say, oh, just don't think that way. Like, boom. Doesn't work like that. But I mean, we've talked about it in here before. This almost teeters into like kind of OCD territory. Like I'm thinking about it all day. And yeah. You're making that connection. Like Nick was saying, like just over and over and over again. And now this feels comfortable. Look, I'm thinking about how much I can't control him snacking, but I can control how much I worry about it. And now I can do it all day. And that feels good for about 2 seconds. And then I feel stressed about it. Then it feels good that I'm stressed about it because that's control. And now I'm stressed again. Like just circles and circles. But almost like sitting with the idea, I live off mantras. Like, what is my mantra going to be? And like, I am not in control of my partner. Am I going to choose to love him even if he's snacking on donuts and candy?
Right.
And if you can't, you can't. And there are consequences to that. What does that mean for your relationship? To answer your question, I do not think you should tell him to stop eat the snacks. What was that question she had in there? It was, should I tell him, do I suggest to my partner I want him to eat healthier, or is this completely my problem? I mean, I think it's fair to express concern, but it sounds like you've already said they don't see it as a problem.
Yeah, so it sounds
So
like they've
you might have
talked.
already talked about it. If you've already talked about it, I don't know that that is a helpful route to go down. If you have not talked about it from a place of, I'm really concerned about your health, like these things like donuts are high in fats, sat fats, all these things.
I'm concerned.
And I see you don't look any worse for wear, but there's still damage that could be getting done. And I really want to live a long life with you. Like, could we reduce? Could we whatever? Like, you can definitely present that and ask that, but the expectation should not be that he will then change these
I've
behaviors.
seen this go the wrong way where, again, we're just saying words like husband, wife to illustrate.
Yeah.
I've seen the scenario where wife will come to husband and say, I'm concerned. I don't like that you eat this. This is bad for you. And husband will say, thank you for telling me. I know that was given to me in a spirit of love. I choose to continue enjoying my snacks or whatever it is that I have, my glass of whiskey.
Gum.
Or bubble gum. God bless him. And then what will happen is I've seen wife then start to punish husband. And now she will be mean and short.
I'm just
and
not
cold.
sexually attracted towards people
It's
who chew
gross.
bubble gum.
Yeah, you chew bubble gum. Now
like
you're,
Nick's been here
It's
before.
terrible.
What did you
Stop
say
reading
to
my
your
journal,
partner?
asshole. I sent that to you for notes, not so you could just fucking put it on the podcast. Jesus Christ.
He knew what he was
Does it
doing.
mean
He
nothing?
knew what he was doing.
I signed the consents. No, but like
I'm a hippo.
So like I've seen the scenario where wife will then start being frustrated with husband, and she will say, and here they are in therapy, and he will say, look, she has control over how she treats me.
Yeah.
And she should be accountable for her choice to go from I'm being nice to you. I've not provoked you. I've not done anything unkind at you. I've done something personally that is not considered immoral or illegal and does not infringe upon you in any way. And you are so offended by that you now summon your personal autonomy to now punish me, your partner, and treat me poorly. You're going to be held accountable for the way you're treating me.
Absolutely.
You're hurting our marriage. You're hurting our relationship. But then wife will say in therapy, I am doing no such thing. You are provoking an automatic reaction in me. I have told you this irritates me. I have told you this bothers me. I don't know why it does those things. It does. I've warned you. And it becomes almost this game between siblings. Like, I'm not hitting you. I'm not hitting you. Like, you're walking into my fist. Like, I'm just going to start swinging my fist wildly like this and walk forward. And if I hit you, that's your fault for not getting out of the way. It becomes this really petty bullshit thing. And as a therapist, you're sitting there trying to disentangle this knot because, like, both partners are speaking their truth. And it's tough because I tend to feel, some sympathy for the side that says, I didn't do anything to you. I like sunflower seeds. I eat them. I spit them in a little hanky. I throw that in the trash. None of this bothers you except that it grosses you out that I'm like sucking the salt off these things and then spitting them away. I get that it's unattractive. I'm not here trying to get laid today. I'm enjoying my fucking snack in my living room that I pay for too. Why you don't have like now permission to sabotage our relationship because of this. And I've seen that person say, I'm going to hold you accountable for this. Like, you treat me like shit. I'm going to start treating you like shit. And now we have this weird escalation going on, which originated from this benign thing that I was doing.
I do see that in a sense, because like, change that to any other habit.
Right.
Like, it doesn't involve you. I enjoy having a drink. To it doesn't involve you. I enjoy picking my nose.
Right.
It's like, well, there's going to be consequence. There's natural consequences to that.
It's
like
I'm on the
for-
natural consequences page.
it's just okay. Well, I do find that unattractive,
right? Or bothersome.
It
gets really weird. And like in couples therapy, obviously we're not trying to do refereeing, right? So we're not going to say, I'm sorry, but I side with him on this one.
Right.
You're going to have to apologize and accept the consequences.
One of the biggest misnomers or misunderstandings of couples therapy, because I think everybody who goes into couples therapy
is trying to get the therapist on their side.
Going to happen.
Relationship
Goal one.
referee, throwing flags and blowing whistles. No, but in that scenario, there can't be a winner without there being a loser. And so you try to get the couple to talk through their feelings, to hear each other, to practice empathy. You try in some of these scenarios to come up with some kind of creative middle ground solution. Sometimes you really will never be able to do that.
Right.
And so you're trying to get them to coexist inside of a tension and also grapple with the fact that each of them is doing something, a percentage out of willpower, and they could be firing gunshots into their own boat. And asking them, like, are you willing to sink this boat on this?
Right.
Is this the hill you're going to die on?
That's the ultimate question. Like, how much does this bother you? Is it worth sacrificing your relationship? I think putting it into perspective like that is helpful. And to get to a point where, is it a big enough deal that you would just not be with this person? Like, because sometimes that can kind of
get that bad. It can, like,
which
it can
fine.
honestly, I've seen relationships
if you
get
don't
to that point.
Like, I don't see a problem in that.
It's
Like,
tough.
personally, like, if you can't let that go, and maybe you should work on it yourself. But if you can't, then why be with them? Like, I don't know. I think very pragmatically on this because
you say that, but like if you're invested in a relationship and suddenly Pete picks up a new habit, where he's like into sunflowers,
which by the way, I love that we call him Pete.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know why it just makes me smile.
It's Petey. That's what I call him.
Little Petey McGillicuddy.
That's what I call him. PDG. What's the G for? I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. No, it would definitely take work, but I don't know. I'm just like, if it's that big of a deal, then things need to change. And I don't know. It doesn't mean it'd be easy, but it would be really difficult and hurtful along the way. But if you're hurting every single day, you can't handle that your
You're
partner
right.
picked up drinking. Like,
And it also,
You can't.
I've used the metaphor of like a pebble in your shoe. Like sometimes a pebble in your shoe doesn't hurt that much, but like you're one of the relationship, you let it go. It's like whatever, it's charming. You know, he has a loud lip smacking bubblegum chew. It's annoying, but I like the guy.
Yeah.
20 years later, you're like, no, I'll fucking stab you in the throat. You know?
well, but you actually, let's do the bubblegum thing. Do you chew gum around your wife?
No, because she'll fucking lose it.
So you stop chewing the gum.
No, but I chew on my own.
That's fine.
And I chew as much
Rebelliously.
as I want.
So that's what I mean. Someone changed because they don't want to lose.
my mistress.
She loves
She don't give
my
a shit.
chewing.
So we found the solution, didn't we, baby?
Exactly.
You don't have to ever hear it again.
Jim's deaf mistress.
That's right. I exclusively date
You would need a
the hard of
test.
hearing. Turn those hearing aids down, baby. They got some big league chew.
But I also wonder too if it's one of those things, like when we talk about chronic pain, like we talk about dealing with the emotional part of the pain to
Right.
make the actual physical more manageable.
Right.
If it's kind of the same thing where like you can kind of deal with your half of that equation, which is like exploring why does this bother me?
Yeah.
And maybe by dealing with that piece, the other piece feels more
Yeah,
manageable.
Right.
that's the best answer.
And in fairness, the bubblegum chewing, there is a sound that's being emitted that can be obnoxious. Like that's like smoking a cigarette. Like, hey, I realize you're doing something that's all about you, but the product you're partaking in gets used and it affects me and it affects the environment.
I have
Right?
to
Do you
smell you.
have to blow the smoke in the baby's face?
Right. Yeah. Whereas I can see for the
I
writer.
get to
Don't
blow
tell
the
me
smoke
how
out of
to
baby's
smoke.
face.
Yeah. It's like
Don't tell me how to raise my
Marlboro
child.
from a baby.
That's half my baby.
half those lungs are mine.
I'm only blowing the smoke into my half of the baby.
Your half of the baby's a wimp. Yeah. But no, in this case, obviously for the writer, your partner is not affecting you in any way. You're just feeling concerned that they are eating something that is unhealthy for them.
Yeah, that's an important factor too. I was just thinking sometimes it does get to that point. Like, what if the person's smoking and they have lung cancer now, and you're like, please stop smoking, and they just keep smoking? Like,
There's a
ugh.
continuum,
Yeah.
and it's definitely got to be on a scale. But writer, if I think that we're all in agreement. We like the idea of open communication in a relationship. I mean, if this is irritating you, again, pebble in the shoe metaphor, it's going to continue to irritate you over time. And in my experience, that tends to worsen over time the more we're
Yeah.
holding that in. So I like the idea of bringing it to the partner in good faith, in an earnest and sincere tone, with an expression of, look, it's your body, it's your choice, but I want a long life with you. I love you.
Exactly.
Is this something that you'd be willing to, work on so that my anxiety can be appeased, right? And presenting it not as you're annoying me, but presenting
Yeah.
it from a position of, I love you to pieces and I worry about you.
Right.
And I think a lot of humans are pretty receptive to that if you're not obnoxious about it. If you're like, hey, I love you to pieces and I'm just so worried about your health, I would sleep better at night if I just maybe knew that you weren't having as much sugar. And it's like, okay, like that can be delivered in an endearing way that I would find charming and be like, oh, okay, sweetie, if it helps you sleep at night, I won't do this anymore. I'll cut back.
It's impactful.
There's definitely a negotiation move that's there. But writer, I would caution you, being mindful that if this irritating behavior is causing you to start mistreating your partner, I don't get to be a referee in couples therapy, but on pod therapy, I sure as fuck will be. I'll blow the whistle and throw the flag and say,
it.
in my opinion, you're accountable for the mistreatment of your partner. You don't get to use this as a convenient excuse to now just be a horrible partner.
Take away their autonomy.
Yeah.
as a
I mean,
human.
and I would hope that if it gets to that point, then yeah, Whitney's point is sound. You're going to have to start having some really big, hard thoughts. And the thought's not going to be like, how much sugar do I feel, is healthy? The thought's going to be like, do I want to do Christmas alone?
Yeah. I think that just puts it into perspective, though. It's like, they said they're having trouble right sizing it. That to me can help right size it because you
Yes.
catch yourself thinking, really? I'm going to go tell my friends, oh, I broke up with him because he snacks.
Right.
Like, or whatever. I ended this
A lot
relationship.
of
This
people-
motherfucker
Yeah.
eats snack food.
Yeah.
In bed.
Yeah. Oh, I love
then
that.
they'll agree with
Here's
it.
what I've seen happen.
Terrible.
And Whitney may say this is true or not true, but I've seen this happen. So, like, as a male therapist, I get female patients sometimes, and I'll like ask them like, "Why are you here?" And they'll say something like, "Because my girlfriends are fucking lying to me, and I know they are." And I'll be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, so I go to my girlfriends when I'm upset about my boyfriend, and they all just only validate me. But then later I realize, no, that shit I was thinking was crazy. Like they were all supporting me. And like, so I'm here to be talked down. And like I've had this happen where they're coming to me like, my girlfriend's told me that he's a piece of shit, and I shouldn't have to put up with this, and he's the worst guy ever. And I'm like, well, what did he do? And like, he didn't return my text message because he was driving. They're like, he doesn't love you. She's like, wait a minute. Like, I think I need an outsider opinion.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say before I got sidetracked in my thoughts. But it's accepting that everybody's going to have flaws.
Right.
Like your person, I just need to throw that out there. Like Jim was saying, there's no perfect person out there. There's going to be shit that annoys you about another person. Jacob, stop.
Jacob is the only perfect person.
And I think there is a weird little epidemic going around now with young people dating where it's like they use that term, the ick.
Oh, yeah.
Drives me crazy as a therapist.
There's a Instagram that it always comes up where it's like a woman says something about like, oh, this is terrible. And then it cuts. And then a guy goes to his list of icks.
Oh, he keeps adding it.
It's up to like 875.
Guys who don't commit suicide. Yeah. Like there's a bunch of like, guys for breathing, bleeding when injured. I hate it when guys drink water and it's like not dying of dehydration.
And there's like water drips a little bit off their mouth. It's like ick. I'm like, they drank water. What? Like, Jesus.
That was so funny. When guys yawn and it's like,
yes. It's
all
shit like
that being said, we are still on Jim's wife's side when it comes to Jim chewing gum.
We are.
Yeah, we don't want our listeners to get
No.
Yeah,
don't get confused.
Yeah.
Don't get confused.
Anyway, so great question writer. Good luck with this. And at the end of the day, don't be a bitch about the gum chewing. I really just want to drive it
like
home.
Jim's wife.
Just let people live their lives. Anyway, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're wrapping up the show. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Ben Dunn, Malia, Richard Macy, Sonny Boy, Thunder Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Slipper Kaye, Motherfucker, Sandra Big Waffle, Alina, Sam Cohn, Jake Schneider. And if you would like to sponsor the show, head on over to the patreon.com/therapy and sign up to become a Theraproducer.
Yeah.
Should we do some trivia real quick?
Hell yeah.
Wrap
Let's wrap it with some trivia.
Okay,
I'm in the
Whitney.
lead.
I'm back.
Oh, wait. Hold on. This is a geography question,
So we know who to go to.
Jim.
Bring it, bitch.
To the expert.
I'm going to crush it.
Based on your review.
U.S. state
All of them.
has the most volcanoes?
Okay, not the one I was thinking. Buzz. Oh, fuck.
Well, we're obviously all buzzing.
Yeah,
except Jim. I was like...
Oh, boy. Okay.
I think everybody in the room knows this but Jim.
Jim's thinking hard.
I don't think it's as easy as
Maybe
you think.
not.
Okay.
I don't think so because
I have
there
a
was
second
that
guess all
one
of a
in
sudden.
Washington that exploded.
Mount St. Helens.
Yellowstone is a super volcano,
It is.
That's where
and Hawaii
So
has
that's
one
one.
going right now. The islands are getting bigger. Give me options.
I don't think
Hawaii.
they're going to help you.
Fuck.
Alaska,
Oh.
California, Oregon.
Oh.
Oregon.
Yeah, thanks for the wink. So to be clear, though, like Washington and Oregon,
Same thing.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah. Which one is the one with the Pierce Brosnan movie where Point Break?
Dante's
Pierce
Inferno.
Brosnan in Point Break?
I don't know. I mean, what was the...
Keanu Reeves is in Point Break.
That one. All right.
Okay.
No, I think
that
it was Brosnan.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's where all the volcanoes
the
are going
volcano.
on.
I think it's just called Volcano.
I think that might be it.
Okay.
There's Sharknado.
And I think that was in L.A.
All right. So of the
Dante's
things
Peak.
that I named, none of them showed up except Hawaii. But
Okay.
now you said Alaska. And I'm like, fuck. There's probably volcanoes in Alaska. It's huge. And I feel like it's part of the Arctic Circle, which is named for the volcano.
But if
rim.
it's frozen, is it a volcano? Oh, shit. Can you freeze fire?
Is that a glacier?
I think that's a
Yeah,
book.
I think that's what a glacier
Yeah.
is. It's just frozen. It's just
Yeah,
frozen
but fuck
volcano.
ton
It's frozen
glaciers.
fire.
There's a
Yeah,
bunch of glaciers
frozen
up
fire.
there. That's probably
Yeah.
all that is. All right. Give me the Hawaii one.
It's
Alaska.
God damn it! Fuck.
Really? I would have gotten it wrong.
All right, Whitney, which animal inspired the legend of the unicorn?
I mean,
Clearly a horse.
I know. I was like,
If you don't
got
say
to
a
be
unicorn.
a fucking
a
horse.
unicorn. A unicorn inspired the unicorn. I mean, I want to say I need options because I feel like this is a trick question.
It's gotta be horse.
A narwhal,
See?
a white horse, rhinoceros, or an antelope.
That's why I was like something with a horn or an antler. I mean, narwhal's the more fun answer.
It is pretty, but rhino feels pretty on the
Rhino's
money.
right. I'm gonna guess narwhal because I want to.
It is narwhal.
Yeah, I'm on a roll.
Jacob.
I'm sad that unicorn wasn't an option there.
Unicorn inspired unicorn.
What animal inspired the myth of unicorns?
Unicorns.
They
What
exist.
was bubble wrap originally invented for?
Anxiety?
That feels like a good one.
Still
Toddlers?
true.
Give me
Toddlers
options.
entertained?
Packing material,
Okay.
wallpaper,
Okay.
Oh my
insulation,
Ooh.
greenhouse covering.
Ooh, that's good too.
Boy, I like
This is a
three of
hard
those.
one. That's what she
Gotta
said.
be insulation. I bet it's insulation. Insulation.
I'll bet you it is insulation.
Wallpaper.
Ooh.
70s,
Wow.
baby.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
I want to use that as wallpaper now.
Feel free.
But somebody would just ruin it. Like they're just gonna pop, 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 pop.
All right, mine. Which mammal has no vocal cords? Giraffe, elephant, dolphin, or kangaroo?
Oh boy.
I think it's dolphin.
Wait, hold on. Have you ever heard a kangaroo cry or yell?
I was going to say a giraffe. Do giraffes make noises?
Yes.
They do?
Oh yeah. They're like
Oh.
Pokemon. They shout their own name.
Giraffe.
Exactly. Yeah. That was like a
That
call.
was it.
That was
I'm
it,
paying
yeah.
money for
Good
that.
job, Nick.
I'm actually lock the door before one of them comes running in here.
It's the mating call.
Here comes Jeff.
No, I got that wrong. I said dolphin. It is giraffe.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there is a fun fact that goes with this. As soon as I unhide it, giraffes communicate through low frequency sounds that are often inaudible to humans.
And interpretive
What?
dance. A lot of people don't know.
And
interpretive
painting.
dance.
And
Yes.
painting, yeah, they're often widely celebrated for their paintings. All
right.
right,
Thank
I
you,
win.
Emma.
Good job. All right, as we get to the end of the show, we want to remind you that you can find all the extra material at patreon.com/therapy. You can get our extended show ad-free a day earlier, as well as enjoy our live chat Discord community and our weekly deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. As this episode is airing, I posted a news deep dive on the Counseling Compact, which is currently proposed in Nevada. And if it passes in Nevada, we will be like the 40 or 41st state to join it. And if all goes well, it will activate later in 2025. And so if you are in any of those 40 states, you will now have privilege, if you are a counselor, to practice in any other member state.
Oh, damn.
Yes, with very minimal red tape. And guess what,
Okay.
Whitney? I sent you an email
I
on this.
saw that. I couldn't open that link you sent me.
That's because it was porn.
Oh,
The social work,
That's what
social
the
workers
virus was.
are also considering joining a very similar interstate compact. And if that one passes, you will be legal in all 50 states.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
get to
interesting.
Is that not what you meant?
No, I mean, it's both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know, it's just-
interchangeable.
It's really just
verbiage.
a cost thing.
Okay.
Yeah. One insurance covers, not the other one.
Got it.
So anyway, check that out. Patreon.com/therapy. And,
and by the way,
fun deep dive.
we got a great turnout for the Pod Therapy Fitness Challenge.
Fitness
challenge in your butt.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
I don't know where to go from there.
I think we went there.
The butt.
I think
You're welcome.
Yeah.
it's been fun. to say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Getting
been
it
a good
all in the
time.
butt?
Yeah.
It's surprising how much fits in
A lot
there.
of butt
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is it? It's a random fact. I think a raccoon can fit through a space as small as like 4 inches in diameter.
Wow.
And the average human anus can stretch up to about 6 inches in diameter.
At least.
So like
Yeah.
a full-grown raccoon, in theory, can just fit right through your butthole.
Oh,
Ouch.
wow.
6
the
inches
more
seems-
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick's clenching his
Diameter?
butt as
Yeah,
he
it's like-
sings.
Diameter. That's a lot. Diameter.
Six?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about like that.
So wait.
That's a
How many
baby.
iPhones is that?
Yeah. I mean, like, for a friend.
Yeah.
Like, How many chapsticks? Specifically this one.
How many gerbils is that?
Gerbils. Asking for an actor friend of mine. Anyway,
forgot
go to
about that.
patreon.com/therapy. Support our show. Help us keep doing what we're doing. We've got some new people that signed up, and I don't know if you checked your email, Nick, but we had another one sign up while we were recording.
Oh,
I
awesome.
have not. So if you could look that one up,
I've
that'd be
got that
great.
one, yep.
But we got a couple new Therapals. Mark Restronikow.
Nailed it.
I'm pretty sure I got that one right. Welcome, Mark and Brian Skirlin. Welcome.
Very nice. The newest one is a pterodactyl, so I'll go after your theropods.
Theropods, we got Zachary W. and Ty Evans.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much.
Welcome.
Love having you. And we have a new pterodactyl. Welcome, Artie. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, no, I get it. Pterodactyl. I was just like, why does Artie require...
I was wondering that too. I'm like, Artie?
He's like a giraffe.
What does the giraffe say?
Giraffe!
Oh, and of course we want to praise and worship our deity, the Dark Lord himself, Jim's Fascia. And thank our benevolent, revered, generous, and flagrantly pro-therapy diehards who love you all so much they give till it hurts, that they're partners, Dirty B and Pickett. And we want to thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of the fan club. The Thera producers, thank you, Jake Schneider, Myra, Robert Brownie Jr. Mint, Smitty Scoop, Ben Don, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Malia, Leon Kassab, Mason Miller, Richard fucking Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley slapping your face, Sarah Smith, who wrote in today.
Yay.
Adam Hathaway,
I know
Byler
her.
T, Mike Helm, Paris, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Heyo, Oscar Swanrose, A Sunny Boy, Slurpy Kai, motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Dan Martin, Hannah Marie, Andrew Langmead, Emma Kane, Elena, Cody DeLorean Guy, and Sam Cohn.
And if you would like to hear this episode uncut and unedited,
And why wouldn't you?
and enjoy our spontaneous side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. Want to thank our landlords, Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social Podcast. And thanks to those of you who contributed to our show today. We really appreciate it. But remember, Pod Therapy isn't something to keep all to yourself. Share the episode with the world. Tag us on the socials when you do. It's at Pod Therapy Guys on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and Blue Sky. It's /Pod Therapy on Facebook. And don't forget about all the extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy.
And if you want to submit a question to the show, you can ask anonymously at podtherapy.net. You can email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com, or you can click the link in the episode description to be taken to our anonymous Google form. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jim.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.
So I was listening to your Introduce the Thera producers. And, oh God, I forgot who it was. It was a recent one. I think it was your most recent one. So you might have to figure that out while I'm talking.
Okay.
But she was explaining that for the longest time, she didn't know that Jacob was another person. And so she thought that Jacob was one of us.
Like making up another character?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Who thought this?
I don't remember who it was.
I'm looking, what is today?
It was recent. But it
I
was,
mean, that is giving you guys, that's
was
giving
really
somebody a
great.
ton of
Oh,
credit.
was it Hannah?
yeah, it was
Marie?
Hannah. Hannah Marie was like, yeah, so I found you guys really early in history, and it was listening to us in the early days. So when we added Jacob, we didn't introduce Jacob.
And we never have.
Years.
Yeah.
And so we did as a joke one day. And like, that's the day that Hannah realized, holy shit, there's three of them.
There's another person.
Because Hannah intelligently took us at our word when we said hi.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
This is a podcast. We know you can't see us. I'm this guy. He's that guy. And yeah, and Hannah was like, then one day I realized, holy shit.
Somebody's just great at doing voices.
Yes. They thought it was a
And it's
bit.
extremely creative.
No one on this show is that talented.
So anyway, thank you for supporting the show, Hannah.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.